6 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast, 9 o'clock a.m. on the East Coast, 2 o'clock in the afternoon Thursday in London, and in Malaysia it's 1973. I'm Jay Sheldon and I'm not wearing pants. Hello everybody. Hey, hi, Chaotic Robot, good morning, good afternoon, good day. Mohammed, nice to see you. Thanks for coming along for the ride. We are live on Facebook Live. I'm Not Wearing Pants is the page. We are also live on YouTube, Jay Sheldon's channel. You'll find it around that logo, I think. And of course, with twitch.tv, Jay Sheldon No Pants is where you will find us. I came that close tonight to getting my brother on the show. Remember we talked about this? He's actually, where he is, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's a work day for him. Even though they have a snow day, he's working from home, he's still got to do kind of work from home. So I could not get him to get on the show tonight. Timing didn't work out, but I will. He promises me he'll be here. Yeah, what's with the title? What makes Thursdays suck? They just suck. It's like a nothing day. It's 4 days into the work week. It's not Friday or the weekend. So it's just, they just suck. Nothing. Actually, I had a great day today. I went into the office. I worked from the office today. And we shot another episode in my show, Random Acts, which we'll talk about a little bit. So that was good. We had a good day and got some great content coming up on our Random Acts show here on Facebook. And we'll tell you a little bit about that. What else are we doing? Okay, just got to make sure that all my things are working the way they're supposed to be working. And apparently they are. So. Yeah, so it's nothing in particular happened today that was horrible that made today suck, but you know. Hazel Lisa has liked the stream. Thank you very much for that, Hazel Lisa, and thank you again for the amazing book. I haven't finished going through it all yet. There's a lot there, some amazing content. Another thing happened. At my office in Kelana Jaya in Malaysia here. They have these parking cards that you have to pay for. It ain't cheap. And I left mine on the dashboard of my car in the sun. This was a long time ago, a year over ago. So it melted. Since then, I've actually, because we were all under house arrest for months and months, so we couldn't go to the office. They insisted I continue to pay for a parking fee when they could not hold up even their half of the bargain because there was no parking they could offer me. The building was closed down. They insisted I had to keep paying, so I said, that ain't gonna happen. You can keep the deposit and you can stick it where the sun don't shine. Anyway, so now we're coming back to the office, so now I have to re-sign up for another parking card. And I got a new parking card. I just signed up again, paid the security deposit, paid the month's fee, and off we go. But I found my old warped in the sun parking card. I don't want to show the logo of the company because I don't want to give them any publicity because they're idiots. But anyway, I tore it apart. Because, I mean, this one's already been paid for and it's been destroyed. Did you realize what's in these things? I'm going to see if I can get, the lighting is a little weird. There you go. See that? That's what's inside those. And this is one of those cards that you don't have to hold up against the thing and it reads it. You can actually just, it's like, I don't know, is it RF or something? Where it's if as long as you're within a few inches or a foot or two of the sensor, it will sense it. But I had no idea what was inside, so I tore it apart. And this, I know the camera can't pick that up in detail, but this here this is sticky because the other half of the card was over top. This here is this micro small wire coil, little teeny tiny coils, and then one little thing. Let's see if I can get it to focus there. See that thing right there? I have no idea what that is. I'm assuming it's some sort of, I don't know, power generator or something. I mean, because it must have some sort of power, some sort of phantom power. I don't know how it works, but I love tearing things apart. So you can actually pull the coil out, and that's this is why Thursdays suck, because there's nothing going on. Yeah, so the little coil of wire, and these wires are so thin. I mean, they would snap. There's no way the camera would even pick that up. The wire attaching this little thing to the coil. It's very weird, but anyway, that's the inside of my parking card. Wasn't that interesting? It's Dr. J Science. I should look that up. I should do some web search on that and check it out and see how that all works, because it's fascinating to me. It has to be some sort of power source, I'm assuming, but it doesn't look like it's too tiny to be a battery. Maybe there's some little piece of nuclear rod in there or something that's providing some power. I don't know. Coffee time. By the way, I read ahead. I read ahead in The Wizard of Oz. I didn't read ahead. I skimmed ahead. See, I thought we were just maybe 1 or 2 chapters away. We're not. I mean, if you don't normally join us. Oh, magnetic, really? It's magnetic. It's a magnet. I guess that would make sense. Yeah, that's true, because then the coils would generate some sort of, yeah. All right, that makes sense. Anyway, if you've been following along, we read a chapter each stream at the end in The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. We have a new book coming up. I think we're going to be doing Alice in Wonderland. But I thought because the wizard has flown away in the balloon, the Scarecrow, the Tin Woodman, and the Lion all got their heart and courage and brains, and Dorothy's stuck. So I figured, okay, they're going to resolve Dorothy's story. Off we go, close it down, roll the credits, end of show. No, there's more chapters. There's about, I think maybe 4 or 5 more chapters left to go. It's not over. So this is very different from the film, which is really cool. But yeah, so we'll continue tonight. We'll do another chapter tonight, and we'll see how far away from the film it actually gets. But that's very cool. What else? How many chapters left? Don't know. I did. Hazel said, did the touch and go? We have a. If you're not in Malaysia, we have a card here for paying tolls on the highway, parking in a lot of places now in our soon-to-be cashless society. Which, by the way, I think is a really stupid idea. I'll talk about that in a minute. The touch and go is the same sort of system. You have to actually touch it unless you have a special machine that then sends the signal out. So yeah, that's touch and go. Just briefly, cashless society. It's very convenient. It works well. It's nice not to carry cash around. But here's what scares me: my psychotic thinking, or paranoid thinking. If you don't have cash, and all your money is on a little plastic card, and everything is done cashless, and something were to happen, and you can't access your money, or let's say if things went really bits up, the government could access your money, and you can't. If you have cash, it's cash. I know that's dangerous. Some idiotic people in this country actually keep cash, tons of it, thousands and thousands of dollars stored in drawers and literally in their mattress. Not smart. But going completely cashless, I've never been in favor of that. of that. It's really convenient. I use my debit card for just about everything, but I always keep cash on me, and it is it's not safe to entirely turn everything over and eliminate cash. I would never want to live in a society that does not have some sort of cash-based system. It's too easy to screw with it, too easy to screw up. Kiwi Little, hi-yo, hello there. Thanks for joining, nice to see you here. Wherever you may be taking part in the stream tonight. We're going to do a little bit of Facebook review also, because I am going to do a ruthless plug for a couple of my shows. You'll have to be patient with me, but I hope you'll find that interesting. Srirachasamson, or something like that. I almost got it right the first time, a few streams ago. Anyway, hi, Grace Sriracha, good to see you here. And thanks for joining, very cool. And Chaotic Robot says he agrees with me on the money thing, good. Again, I would never want to live in a society that had absolutely no cash. Everything was online. Everything was paid for with a silly credit card or a debit card. So anyway, yeah. Samson. All right, Samson. It's a deal. We'll call you Samson. And good to hear that all is well. All right, so shameless plugs for a couple of things that I want to talk about. These are shows that I created. And my company produces them. It's not my company, the company I work with, which is called Studio Voxel. In fact, you can see Studio Voxel. There you go. It's on my coffee mug. And they produce the shows. I direct them mostly. And I'm going to ruthlessly plug them on their Facebook pages so that you hopefully will go there now or after the stream or whenever and check it out. Urban Jungle Food is one of the shows that we produce, and if you go to Facebook and put in UJF Malaysia, as in Urban Jungle Food Malaysia, all one word, UJF Malaysia, and you will see this, and that is our page where we put our show up. And please give us a like and a follow, and check out the videos there. We've got lots of content. Basically, the show is about, well, I'll read it right there. Our neighborhood's filled with edible items, whether you grow it in your backyard or the wild plants that grow. You do need to be careful, of course, that you don't, eat stuff that's not good for you. There's some of that out there, especially here in Malaysia. We have the most incredible, I mean, you've got mango and fruit trees growing wild on the street. Most of them are on people's property, so you don't just want to walk down and pull people's fruit off their trees. But papaya and mangoes and all the pineapples, you'll find them growing literally on the street corners, which is really cool, which is where the whole idea behind, eating in an urban jungle environment. So our show, we do some quick tips, like this is one show, the most recent show that we did, and it's basically grow your own. It's all kinds of tips on how to make homemade fertilizer, how to water your plants when you're not home, how to make new plants from old plants, and it's very cool. Yeah, coconuts too. You're right, exactly, coconuts. Miko looking for a dad. Yeah. That's some of the shows. We've also got, there we go, Malaysia's favorite snack, which is pisang goreng, which basically translates to fried banana. We've done shows, and we post little articles about edible gardens, people who grow their own gardens in the urban environment. A wonderful woman who makes soap from frangipani, and well, from a lot of stuff besides, but she flavors and smells them up with frangipani, which is a beautiful, and again, that's growing wild all over the place here. So these are just some of the show, some of our favorite leaves. We use leaves here not only for eating and flavoring, but also for utensils, plates and things. Banana leaf rice is one that's very popular here. We use the banana leaves as a plate. We've got episodes on pandan. We had our interns at Studio Voxel do an episode where they made the same sort of bubur cha cha from their own state in Malaysia where they come from. So there's tons of content here. I'm sure that you will enjoy it. Please give us a like and a look. Urban Jungle Food is the name of the show. I don't spend a lot of time. In fact, I don't think I have ever spent any real time plugging our shows. But I thought tonight, yeah, what the hell. So that's one of them. The other one is the one that we actually shot a brand new episode today, the 17th, where I think in some places watching us, it's still the 17th of February, is national, or worldwide, I should say. It's Random Acts of Kindness Day on the 17th of February. And we have a show which is called Random Acts. And Random Acts Malaysia is where you will find it under the URL. It's a Facebook. And so you just type in Random Acts Malaysia and you will see that. And that is our show page. And on there, we don't have a lot of content. We've shot content, but some of it we can't air yet. And we are shooting more. In fact, like I said, just today, we did another one in celebration of Random Acts of Kindness Day around the world. Yes, I can hear the dogs from the neighbor in the background. That's all they do all day long is bark. But you get used to it. So after a while, I hardly see it. I hardly hear it. So anyway, our show is basically highlights the simple, ordinary folks who do good things. Every now and then you will hear about these wonderful people who just out of the kindness of their heart do amazing things. And our show celebrates the ordinary people that go above and beyond to make the world a better place to be. I am a hopeless romantic, but I am also a believer in the basic goodness of people, the kindness that's in people's heart. I think deep down inside, we're all kind. We all enjoy doing good things for other people. And so we created a show that just pretty much talks about that. Not the big corporations and their organizations who, you know, go out and treat cancer and feed the homeless, but the common ordinary people. We post a lot of articles that you'll see. For example, this one out of says.com talks about an animal rescue, a woman in Kedah here in Malaysia. Sadly, she lost her battle to cancer, and so her shelter was urgently looking for donations, and we helped to publicize that. A restaurant that this is an amazing Random Acts, this great restaurant, and they have extra food, and they pack it all up, and they go downtown in Kuala Lumpur, and they make these donations, not only of the food, but they're also these days handing out masks, which is a really nice thing to do to the homeless. And lots of different ones that we've covered, different articles of people doing good. A random good deed here, a Sungai Buloh fellow, that's an area in Malaysia. A delivery man, looks like from the color of the bag, that's probably a Grab delivery guy. He returned a purse that he found, which led to friendship and more income. So good for you. Really nice. And we've got an episode here from our show where the Child Passenger Safety Malaysia was doing a child safety seat check in one of the local malls, so we covered that. So our show basically is about that. However, today being Random Acts of Kindness Day around the world, we thought our show itself would give back. And so what we did was we went out today, our host and a crew and a producer, and we gave out little gifts, little small gifts to the delivery guys who for the last year plus have been driving us places and feeding us by bringing our delivery, our food orders to our houses through the heat and the rain and the wind and everything else going on. And these guys, mostly guys, but some gals too, are really, they're busting their butts out there to keep us fed and keep us, you know, in groceries and things. And so they're really kind of unsung heroes. So our show decided that we would do our own random act and pay it forward. So we went out, and I don't want to give too much away. The show will be coming up next week. So make sure you go to Facebook, A Random Acts Malaysia, give us a like and a follow, and you'll see next week we'll have that show on where we do a little pay it forward, a little thank you, just for the guys and gals out delivering our food. So yeah, we will continue that, and we've got more episodes coming up, and we hope that you will check us out. Again, Urban Jungle Food Malaysia on UJF Malaysia on Facebook, and also Random Acts Malaysia on Random Acts Malaysia on Facebook. There is a YouTube channel also for both of those shows. You can check those out. Give us a subscribe over there if you would be so kind, if you wouldn't mind. We have that. All right. What else is going on? I talked about my brother. He's going to come on the show. I just can't promise when, because it's going to just be this coordinating nightmare to try and figure out when I can get him on. But I'm trying. And we talked about my broken parking card. We talked about my shows. And I think we have pretty much covered it. Not much chat happening over here. I see a little bit. Miko looking for her dad. Coconuts. Some video shot quite like a setup. Oh, really? Well, what ours is pretty much it's shot the way it happens. We break the fourth wall a lot. You'll see the other camera crew, the sound guy on there, things like that. But that's kind of yes. The weather is still hot, but not as hot. Last night it was actually cool out. It was not bad at all. Last night was actually cool, and today was hot, but not that oppressive, unbelievable 38, 39 degree Celsius heat we've had for the last week. It finally broke a little bit today. Thank the gods for that. Time zone hell. Yeah, exactly right. Because it is what it's like. It's 9:30 on the East Coast, which is where my brother lives in Jersey. He's from Jersey. Well, he's not from Jersey, but he lives in Jersey. So I'm sorry, that's my best Jersey accent. I can't do a really good Jersey accent. I think that's kind of more of a New York thing. Yeah, hot but not horrible. You're exactly right. Oh, it's 9:24. There you go. In Westport, raining heavily yesterday. Wow. All right. It continued, and in fact, they've had an incredible cold snap. If you see this, there was a sort of an Arctic blast that came down from wherever North Pole region, the Arctic Circle. And there was snow and frozen windmills and things in Texas, which is traditionally a relatively warm state, except maybe northern Texas. But things got really nasty, and some places, pipes freezing and bursting and all. It's the cold snap has been, yeah, it's some real climate change, if you know what I mean. Okay. All right, let's get out of that and get away from there, and let us move on to the wonderful Wizard of Oz. How about that? I can't stay on for too long tonight, so I'm gonna mosey on over and get ourselves right into our book tonight. As I mentioned, this book is not over yet. I really thought it was. I don't read ahead. I kind of hear it when you hear it. It surprises me most of the time as much, if not more, than you. But I was very surprised to find out that this is not the last chapter or two in the book. There are several more to go, but that's cool. That's all right. We'll move time. Yeah, story time, boys. All right. So let's move on to it. First of all, we want to say a big shout out to the folks at Project Gutenberg. That is Gutenberg.org, which is where you will find all these public domain books. It's mostly the incredible classics. I was looking through again today, just talking with my boss about where the books come from that I read, and she first of all loves the idea that I read a book on a live stream, which I guess is kind of cool. I don't know a whole lot of people doing that. So Yeah. But anyway, maybe that'll just make me unique enough that people will find me and like what I'm doing. If not, well, at least the first half of the show we usually spend talking about why Thursdays suck, or Miko, or anything else that happens to come up, including broken parking cards. Oh my God, what a mishmash. Here in Malaysia, we have a dish called rojak, which is a whole bunch of different stuff all shoved together in a big bowl. That's what the start of this show was. Rojak. A whole bunch of crap just stuffed in a big bowl. All right, L. Frank Baum's original, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. We're at chapter 18, and it's called Away to the South. Dorothy wept bitterly at the passing of her hope to get home to Kansas again. But when she thought it all over, she was glad she had not gone up in a balloon. And she also felt sorry at losing Oz, and so did her companions. The Tin Woodman came to her and said, "Truly I should be ungrateful if I failed to mourn for the man who gave me my lovely heart. I should like to cry a little because Oz is gone, if you will kindly wipe away my tears so that I shall not rust." "With pleasure," she answered, and brought a towel at once, and then the Tin Woodman wept for several minutes, and she watched the tears carefully and wiped them away with the towel. When he had finished, he thanked her kindly and oiled himself thoroughly with his jeweled oil can to guard against mishap. The Scarecrow was now the ruler of the Emerald City, and although he was not a wizard, the people were proud of him. For, they said, there is not another city in all the world that is ruled by a stuffed man. And, so far as they knew, they were quite right. The morning after the balloon had gone up with Oz, the four travelers met in the throne room and talked matters over. The Scarecrow sat in the big throne, and the others stood respectfully before him. "We are not so unlucky," said the new ruler, "for this palace and the Emerald City belongs to us, and we can do just as we please. When I remember that a short time ago I was up a pole in a farmer's cornfield, and that now I am ruler of this beautiful city, I am quite satisfied with my lot." "Oh, I also," said the Tin Woodman, "am well pleased that my new heart, and really, that was the only thing I wished in all the world. For my part, I'm content in knowing that I am as brave as any beast that ever lives, if not braver," said the Lion modestly. "If Dorothy would only be contented to live in the Emerald City," continued the Scarecrow, "we might all be happy together." "But I don't want to live here," cried Dorothy. I want to go to Kansas and live with Auntie Em and Uncle Henry." "Well then, what can be done?" inquired the Woodman. The Scarecrow decided to think, and he thought so hard that the pins and needles began to stick out of his brains. Finally he said, "Why not call the winged monkeys and ask them to carry you over the desert?" "Oh, I never thought of that," said Dorothy joyfully. It's just the thing. I'll go at once for the golden cap." When she brought it to the throne room, she spoke the magic words, and soon the band of winged monkeys flew in through the open window and stood beside her. "This is the second time you have called us," said the Monkey King, bowing before the little girl. "What do you wish?" "I want you to fly with me to Kansas," said Dorothy. But the Monkey King shook his head. "That cannot be done," he said. "We belong to this country alone and cannot leave it. There has never been a winged monkey in Kansas yet, and I suppose there never will be, for they don't belong there. We shall be glad to serve you in any way in our power, but we cannot cross the desert. Goodbye." With another bow, the Monkey King spread his wings and flew away through the window, followed by all his band. Dorothy was ready to cry with disappointment. "I have wasted the charm of the golden cap to no purpose," she said, "for the winged monkeys cannot help me." "It certainly is too bad," said the tender-hearted woodman. The Scarecrow was thinking again, and his head bulged out so horribly that Dorothy feared it would burst. "Let us call in the soldier with the green whiskers," he said, "and ask his advice." So the soldier was summoned and entered the throne room timidly, for while Oz was alive, he was never allowed to come further than the door. "This little girl," said the Scarecrow to the soldier, "wishes to cross the desert. How can she do so?" "I cannot tell," answered the soldier, "for nobody has ever crossed the desert unless it is Oz himself." "Is there no one who can help me?" asked Dorothy earnestly. "Glinda might," he suggested. "Who's Glinda?" inquired the Scarecrow. "The Witch of the South. She is the most powerful of all the witches and rules over the Quadlings. Besides, her castle stands on the edge of the desert, so she may know a way to cross it." "Glinda is a good witch, isn't she?" asked the child. "The Quadlings think she is good," said the soldier, "and she is kind to everyone. I have heard that Glinda is a beautiful woman who knows how to keep young in spite of the many years she's lived." "Well, how can I get to her castle?" asked Dorothy. "The road is straight to the south," he answered, "but it is said to be full of dangers for travelers. There are wild beasts in the woods, and a race of queer men who do not like strangers to cross their country. For this reason, none of the Quadlings ever come to the Emerald City." The soldier then left them, and the Scarecrow said, "It seems, in spite of dangers, that the best thing Dorothy can do is to travel to the land of the South and ask Glinda to help her. For of course, if Dorothy stays here, she will never get back to Kansas." "You must have been thinking again," remarked the Tin Woodman. "I have," said the Scarecrow. "I shall go with Dorothy," declared the Lion, "for I am tired of your city and long for the woods and the country again. I am really a wild beast, you know. Besides, Dorothy will need someone to protect her." "That is true," agreed the Woodman. "My axe may be of service to her, as I also will go with her to the land of the South." "When shall we start?" asked the Scarecrow. "Are you going?" they all asked in surprise. "Certainly. If it wasn't for Dorothy, I should never have had brains. She lifted me from the pole in the cornfield and brought me to the Emerald City. So my good luck is all due to her, and I shall never leave her until she starts back to Kansas for good and all." "Thank you," said Dorothy gratefully. "You are very kind to me, but I should like to start as soon as possible." "We shall go tomorrow morning," returned the Scarecrow. "Now, let us all get ready, for it will be a very long journey." Chapter 19 will be coming up in our next stream, and it's called The Attack of the Fighting Trees. I think we know where that part of the film came from now. Yeah, chapter 19 is coming up, Attacked by the Fighting Trees, and that will be coming up next time on our stream. Cool beans. Very nice. Like I said, I've been very surprised. There are several more chapters to go before we move on to our next book. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, Chaotic Robot, Thank you. Art will be coming out soon. Check out Chaotic Robot on Twitter and his amazing artwork. Thank you very much for that. Truly, truly appreciate it. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, but I try and get there, and then of course retweet what you guys have done. I appreciate that very much. Thanks for that. All right, that is going to do it for yet another live stream on a Thursday night. And yes, at the end of the day, Thursdays suck. All right, I gotta go, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for the folks over on Facebook Live. I'm not wearing pants. YouTube, we have Jay Sheldon's YouTube channel, and of course twitch.tv, Jay Sheldon No Pants. Subscribe, like, follow, all the things that are coming up in just a bit, what they tell you to do. Until next time, which will be on Saturday night, we'll do it all over again. Friday's tomorrow. Yes! Friday. Remember, was it Rebecca Black? Possibly the dumbest song ever written and recorded. Remember that? Look it up. If you need a laugh, look up, I think it's Rebecca Black and a song called Friday. All right. That's it. I gotta go. Thanks, everybody. I'm Jay Sheldon, and I'm not wearing pants.